want you to
restart.
beat the gavel.
I call this meeting to order.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself, boys.
Okay. Like I say, we got 7 consultants over here, and there's a brochure for each of you, for each consultant,
Okay.
and I got one. And then using the number of consultants, I emailed the state, and they give me these past performance scores. And that goes in this column here, under
Can
score.
you see?
Yeah.
See, for American Structure, quality is 0.3, responsiveness is 0.93. I don't know why they
Okay.
gave me that. And then the schedule was 0. And then you multiply through and get your weighted score over here. And then down here, you look at these and determine where they have the availability or capacity to do the work. And these are examples.
Okay. All right.
So I put in 1, say they're available, they had capacity. And you put 1 in, multiply by 20, and you get 20. And so on. Here's technical expertise. And I just put 1 times that weight, 15.
Okay.
Predicted ability to manage the project. I basically put 1 there and came across 20.
Well, are those our opinions?
Are your opinions
How do we form that opinion?
from those brochures? See, you're supposed to read the brochures, and from that, rate them, rank them.
So
From these,
Yeah.
We don't get
Yeah,
your
we haven't read it.
recommendations.
Well, I'll give you my opinion.
Well, that's what we
What
want.
we worked. And like here on
I
the
guess
approach,
as far as I'm concerned, as long as that's the high score.
that's, yeah. Well, you,
Third one.
Yeah.
That's mine too.
okay,
I mean-
but we gotta go through this.
Well, you tell us how to,
How to score it so
How
it
you
comes up that way.
Well,
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't
yeah.
mention any names.
So, if you want a high score, I mean, that helps,
in agreement with us.
pretty sure, I think.
Okay.
Just make that one pop up.
We'll put a high score in each of these.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, I
We don't-
guess I
we don't wanna
don't.
mess it up.
I guess what really bothers me is the fact that
Mhm.
I can't make a
It's like hog judging.
educated,
You got one that's
decision.
gonna be better than the other, but
because,
you don't know.
because I've never worked with any of these.
Mhm.
I mean, Butler Fairman, I've worked with them,
Mhm.
but in the past, but that was 10 years, Lord, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years plus, I don't know, and that's,
We don't know nothing about their business, really.
and if you wanted me to read those brochures and whatnot, you should have given them to me 2 weeks ago, because I'm a slow reader and a slow
Okay.
comprehender.
I've
Mine
got
would
this
be
whole
2
brochure.
years.
I haven't had time.
Well, I gave
I got this Friday.
each of you
and I
a
still didn't.
brochure, a folder last Friday.
Yeah.
And the deadline was yesterday. I guess I should have waited another 2 weeks for have this committee meeting.
Oh, well, I mean, as long as I got somebody there to help me,
Okay.
walk me through things.
Yeah, you gotta walk back and check us out as we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll go through the brochure, like American Structure Point, and I'll point out things.
And maybe if you just point out
Yeah.
what you know about these companies and so on and so forth, and then we can just score them at that point in time.
Yeah, that's where you go through, score each one at a
Yeah.
time. And
Okay.
then I get that score, you gotta sign it and print it, at the bottom.
Okay,
Um,
all right, yeah.
Give it a
That's
try.
only what you win, right?
Yeah.
Can you fill these out in pencil?
So we can correct it.
Yeah.
So you correct it, just the signature, I think, has to be,
Is that been blue ink?
probably.
Yes, sign
I can't
everything.
tell whether it's blue or not.
Yeah, that's a dark.
Here's Bridge
Or a light
25.
Oh, I got black.
First one, American Structure Point. Now, the lead supervisor, inspector, lives in Connersville. So I'll point that out.
Yeah.
And this has also got to have 5% disadvantaged business enterprise. So they've got to have a disadvantaged business enterprise as their sub-consultant. They got to do 5% of the work. That's a requirement of Federal Aid. NINDOT.
No, we don't take them, they don't get no 5%.
Now, if we take
If
American
they're
Structure
shows.
Point, the sub works through that consultant. And they got to work for 5% of, they get paid 5%.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it's federal aid requirement. I sent a letter to NDOT and they send me back and say it's 5%. It could be 7, 8.
The construction
Yeah.
has to be, I mean, if this company wins today's pickings, whatever company wins, then that company gets 5% of the construction.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, this contract is for like 12.5% of the construction
Yeah.
bid. And
5% of it has to be with the disabled. They have to have a subcontractor if there's nobody in their business that is a disabled person. 5% of the business. has to be
disadvantaged business
to
enterprise.
disadvantaged business enterprise.
Yeah.
So it's,
Stephen
Like
Christian
bridge.
is a disadvantaged business enterprise. SJCA, they're doing our bridge inventory. So they say that's who they're gonna work with as a subcon consultant. And that's set by federal highway. Okay, this contract, say it's gonna be about, say, $250,000 to do the inspection.
To the inspectors.
Yeah, but
Okay.
5% of that has got to be to the subconsultant.
That's gonna do inspection work of that bridge.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not the construction part of it.
No,
it's the
inspection.
Okay, all right.
Inspection.
it's like
I'm
the
with you.
design, Butler Fairman got the design, and they had Stephen Christian do 5% of it. They had to do 5, but they ended up doing 8%. They did the survey,
Okay,
so they got 8%, $18,000 or $19,000.
okay, all right.
And same
well,
here.
is that just a different way of dividing up the money, but it's the same amount of money no matter what?
Well, it's based on the contract, and then they'll say,
Oh, This
they'll
gentleman?
figure out how much of that
Oh, Nathan?
5%,
I know Nathan.
what they give
He's
to
my
the
brother-in-law's
sub-consultant.
brother. So I
But they
can't
have-
vote on this, can I?
Yeah,
That's conflict, isn't it?
yeah.
I thought he
That's
worked for the
like
state
you vote
highway.
for-
Who? You
Nathan.
know him? Is he related?
Well, he's related, he's my brother-in-law's brother.
Your brother-in-law's brother, okay.
Your brother-in-law is Garrett?
Well,
Yeah, Larry.
Okay.
I don't know, well, if they don't win it.
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
blood, so it's,
Okay.
I mean,
He's a foreigner to the family.
yeah, yeah.
He married into it.
I only claim him on certain times of the year, when
Okay.
he's buying Christmas.
You know, that's a good question. I'll have to ask NDOT what happens, you know.
But
Okay, well,
Okay.
this is American Structure Point, and
okay.
I got their score, their weighted past performance is those numbers, so that's pretty well set.
Oh, those are set.
Pretty well, American Structure Point, yeah.
So we carry that score over to
Yeah,
our sheet.
yeah.
What's that number?
Where do I get that? One of these pieces of paper in here?
No,
And
I just got it yesterday.
.93.
Here you go.
It's like cheating or
It's
something.
I guess, yeah.
3/10 for the quality. 3/10.
Okay.
The next one's the schedule is 0.
Now you gotta multiply that by this weighted number?
Yeah,
1.8. 0 and .93. Mark.
yeah, and then the responsiveness is .93.
And then we go
Wait a
to,
minute. You got a point in there, where'd you get that? These are points right here.
no, this is,
And I've already
0.3.
multiplied through
Oh,
on
okay.
theirs, so this would be
I didn't have that down.
1.8 over here.
Yeah.
1 point.
The next one's 0. And then it would be 0.93 there. And the rest is your opinion. I better do mine.
Okay. Oh, this cat.
And this is our opinion as to whether they have the capacity to do the work.
Yeah.
So all this is already pre-paid?
No, we
20.
we give one of those numbers in that spot times that. We either score it as a 1, a 0, or a -1, times the weight of 20, and that's the weighted score. So if we give this one a 0, then 0 times the 20 would be the 0 weighted score.
I don't understand what the score.
Doing the minutes?
Well, I don't know how to score it because I don't.
You don't know about it.
There's nothing while they're talking, doesn't for me to record.
Okay.
That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
You add these numbers.
Okay.
And it's still recording.
It is. Something to go by.
If I had a
I'm
choice, I
lost.
mean, this would be my number 2 choice, just because of Nathan, the local being here.
Yeah.
You can't use up all your numbers until you know how they're gonna jive.
Yeah.
92.73.
Like I say, let's do this one first.
And it said, our score can't be,
Yeah, sign.
I don't know how I can vary it.
do not, when scoring uses
They may need, I
provided,
don't know if they have them.
do not use
These,
fractions.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's why I wanted this information to read ahead of time, and
Yeah.
it didn't help any.
Hey Warren,
Mm-hmm.
got a question for you.
Okay, just a minute, I'll finish this. Okay?
Can we do this one first?
You can do it next if you want. I mean, let's finish the American Structure Point.
We don't know what we're doing.
Okay.
You write
I
that,
don't
I'll copy it.
understand the scale. We don't have a scale here.
Yeah, you either put a 1, a 0, or a -1 in here. And if they got capacity, usually they do. If you think they don't have adequate capacity, then you put 0. If you don't think they can do the job, you put negative. So,
This was
I
your
think
second choice,
adequate
right?
capacity, 0. So 0 times 20 is 0, right?
yeah.
My first choice, I give them a 2.
Save that back.
Technical
Okay, I got
expertise.
Yeah.
That's what my theory was, but
Yeah.
That sounds like it ought to work. You could also use it down here.
yeah. So then we total these.
Yeah, total those.
Okay.
Have they done, has American Structure Point done a replica type?
You know, I don't know.
Would that be in my little brochure?
Should be in your little brochure.
Yeah. That's what I got. Or that's what
It might have done. In fact, he said that Nathan Garrett was working on one up in Hagerstown, Arch Bridge. He's got similar project experience on page 10.
Okay.
Today's date?
May 2nd. Yeah.
So So that would be.
You got your district in that.
Oh, do we?
I don't know, that's what I put in mine.
I just put commission.
Understanding.
Hey, we're on the path now.
You want this with the brochure? Or
Yeah, it'd be okay unless you want to keep the brochure. It's yours, I mean.
you can use them for the next project. Save on the tree.
Okay, what's your numbers that go in yours?
Yeah, what, do you have Butlers?
Yeah, that's next. You want that next?
Yeah, I reckon.
I was just going alphabetical.
We're on a roll.
You're done by midnight?
We're getting there.
I want to be done before the council
Yeah,
meeting.
Modify.
We can really improve our numbers if we
Multiply
use
our
these
total
minuses.
price.
Yeah.
Here's Butler Fairman.
We get a subtotal, do we multiply that times this up here?
No, you just add them all together.
Okay.
Now, where's this guy from?
Butler Fairman?
Yeah,
Oh, that's Mike Waldron, he's here every other week.
No, Morgan
He's not been here for,
Reardon.
Yeah, I don't know where he's from.
You don't know him?
No, I've never worked. See, it was the guy that did the previously for Butler Fairman. He's now working for Durham, which is another consultant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he switched firms.
Okay.
Or,
And do you have the past performance
yeah,
scores
yeah,
that we can plug in here?
yep. So you got those three numbers, and not in that order. 0.77 for quality. 0.3 for schedule. 1.13 for responsiveness.
1, 3.
Yeah. 1.3. Okay, so you multiply those through,
3, okay.
and you know,
Yep, and then do the rest of it as far as I can.
yeah.
what's about the Fairman scores here?
Second one, you got 0.77 for quality. Well, that's, next one's 0.30 for schedule.
Well, that's 27 to put it backwards, huh?
I know, I saw that and I thought, why'd they do that? And then 1.13. You got too many ones, don't you? Or do, wait.
That's a period,
Okay,
sorry.
okay, that's fine.
Okay,
And this is their brochure here.
okay.
They have Stephen Christian, SJCA is their DBE, that will get 5% of the contract under their
Okay.
proposal. Oops, excuse me. Not there. Structure point. We have the one
We have to
for,
multiply this times that, was that what we did?
Mhm.
That would be mine.
Okay.
This is the second.
This would be my third choice. Yeah. Me personally, but it's not gonna come out that way, I don't think, because of these top numbers.
Yeah.
Butler scores
Yeah,
a
but
lot
then
higher.
again, they don't get that high. So if you go down here and take like a 2 or something, you can wipe them out.
Yeah.
They voted no shade.
use that.
Look out there, they've been all doing
0.77. What's that?
4.62.
Okay. Just double checking.
I hope I'm doing this right.
Me too.
I got a 91.65 now.
That's a pretty high score.
Well, you get 0, that's when you come down.
Had that column.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Warren, could I see my, that first one that we did, my copy?
Your copy?
Does it have the sheet in it?
The DBE?
Yeah.
I might have it in here, the other one in my copy. Sometimes they had a loose leaf. And
No,
some-
no, the.
The
this-
score?
The score sheet.
Okay, I got it right here.
I wanted to write, I didn't write my scores down. I wanted to- Okay, thanks, Warren.
Where's the
And here's,
past performance
Or,
certified?
Did you already hand that in?
yep.
Okay.
let me hand you, are you done with the Butler Fairman and the American?
I haven't signed it.
Oh, okay. Okay, oh, you getting pretty high.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, what's your scores to start with?
She's trying to name them all for us.
How come we get 0 in here?
This one go high.
We've had close scores on the other 2 times, really close. Between
So is it,
first and
do
second.
we end up with an average of the 4 of us?
Yeah.
Is the final score?
Is it, yeah.
Okay.
What's the highest score they could possibly
Are
get?
you ready to
Well, that'd
pass
be,
that down?
I hadn't figured that out.
Share that lack of knowledge with you.
Yeah.
It can be over 100.
Now, you know that those aren't the same, yeah.
It depends how many 2s
That's
you
gonna
put
be hard.
on. Let's see, Butler Fairman. She has
They got all zeros?
Yeah,
We can make it up down here.
yeah. Real bad.
really
Does
close.
it need no counties and-
That's kind of unfair to another company, you know?
Let's see their brochure.
Which one?
CE.
20, 50, 90. It's 120.
They used a different DBE.
We can keep that up there.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll be all right.
Oh, we got affirmative action with
50.
Shrewsbury and Associates.
So, certified. Did I give you, yeah, you have the past performance numbers. Yeah, they got zeros all the way across.
When they got zeros all the way across, they're really at a disadvantage, ain't they?
Just for that certain amount up there, yeah.
Now, after, if they was to get this job, would that improve their reading up there?
I don't know how it's determined. I don't know.
It don't seem like it's fair.
It's,
Well, what it says to me is they've not done they don't have historical performance data. to compare it to.
Yeah, they may not
It
have done
doesn't-
NDOT recently enough.
Uh-huh. To keep it on the books.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's got screwed up.
They don't have any.
Well,
Well, it's the federal government, what do you expect?
I know it.
So those are all zeros, yes, for Dunham.
yeah.
They're all zeros too?
Yeah.
Because in this, we're not building the bridge, we want to know that the person that's checking it is
Yeah.
smart enough to take care of it.
Yeah.
This is how the state does it. They said, the state, when they select engineers, consultants, this is the process.
That's the problem,
Yeah.
that's the issue I have with that, because the firm itself, like my firm, hasn't done a lot of bridges for NDOT, because
Yeah.
I started the construction division, but I have done every bridge on 74 from New Point to 465.
On a personal basis, yeah.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, with the NDOT.
It's not right.
I was on Super 70, I've done 70,
Yeah,
but my company, it doesn't show up.
yeah. You got zeros across the line.
Exactly.
See, that makes 20,
Mhm. Certified engineer.
55, 65, 70.
60, 70. Who come up with this anyway?
It's NDOT, Federal Highway.
There's a right way, a wrong way, and a highway.
Okay, we got that. Well, oh, come on.
Harder you try, the worse it gets. Pick your thumb.
That didn't work either, Mark.
I was gonna say the next thing was stick your tongue out.
Here's the next one. Done.
Okay,
Oh, shoot.
Jeez. Okay.
that,
Here's this.
Durham is the one,
J, CA.
moving on. yeah.
Quality is 0. That's the first one. And then schedule score. That is gonna be
All I gotta do is remember. what page it's on.
0.75, 0.75.
Oh, 0.75.
And then the responsiveness is 0.5.
They stole everything on the project.
Oh, well, you've already.
In my office is at 38
Yeah, I need that for mine. They misspelled it. We got the right one.
Ah,
There's zeros across the line. They haven't done.
For Durham.
He's got it.
Oh, he's got the state thingy.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Let's see if they spell the name right. Yeah, Durham. But on that state thing,
No, they had it wrong.
yeah, so I hope it doesn't mess everything up. 47, 85. You want the name of the consultants? It's JC. Are these done, all done here?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Here's
Mhm.
SJCA.
I got them all. I got them alphabetical, or I did. Here's the American Structure Point.
Guess I'll hold on to it.
Butler, Fairman, and such.
Overrunning it?
Yeah, I think they're overrun there. Here's Strand.
Yeah, I found that on the back of my page.
Oh, is it on the?
Look on yours.
Send me your name. Certified.
Oh, how about that? Here, I don't need that. It's right here.
It's been there, I finally looked through it, and there it is.
I'll be darned.
Okay, that's,
Well, next time I'll know better.
then it's SJCA.
Maybe they'll change the system by then.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting that they've got this quality and schedule and responsiveness.
Yeah,
and all
Strand
this
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, you gotta sort it out.
Gotta listen to, read the writing or something.
And USI Consultants. Is that 7?
Yep.
Certified. Okay, got that to the D's.
No, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Strand Associates.
Okay. Unless you got them.
Responsiveness is what
See on the, they sent me a email for these scores here. NDOT did. And they weren't in the same order, so. Oh, you gotta make sure you got
Be careful.
quality, responsiveness, and schedule on that form. So that could be easily messed up.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Is that Strand? You got it done, or?
Yeah.
You got it signed?
Oh,
Warren, here's Mark and I's SJCA
Okay,
scores.
okay.
And in just a second, we'll have Strand scores here for you.
Okay.
Is Strand done similar work or not?
They did the ADA here in the courthouse.
Okay, but have they done,
They have a bridge
Replica bid.
engineer that I know, but I've never worked with him on a specific project. Tran.
Richard, you got a complaint? I thought you'd have a complaint about not getting enough pay.
No, sir. Just over the overtime.
I was supposed to do that, not I said.
Yes, I was going to best overall. Or even yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Could you add those up just?
Six, seven, seven, five.
Okay.
Do they keep all this stuff?
I keep it.
You do?
I send them a tabulation.
Uh-huh.
I've got a sheet here, and I sign it, and I send it with all information
And
to
then how long-
NDOT.
How long
And,
do you have to keep that then?
shoot, I don't know, you'll keep it in the file, I'd say 5 years is about the time they get to auditing
Uh-huh.
that project. Like a Bridge 81, they just finished the audit on it, the one at Shelton's Plat.
Uh-huh.
So I figured that'd be the
There's USI.
5 years, I hope would be, I think there's some sort of
Yeah.
date they say, but I think it's 5 years.
Here's your example.
Okay.
Now, we're gonna have to do this on all bridges from now on?
Anything with federal aid,
Just federal money?
federal money, local, you don't, you got your choice.
Okay.
And,
But you said something about if we wanted Butler to do it, or our designer to do it in the first place, we could have designated that at the beginning.
well, because it's federal money, the commissioner selected Butler Fairman through this process to design it.
To design it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it to,
Anytime you hire a consultant with federal money, from now on, they say we gotta do this. So if you wanna go out and use local money, design a bridge, there isn't this
criteria.
criteria to do. It's your county's money, but when you use federal highway, NDOT administers the project, we gotta go through this. They devote a whole chapter to it in the guidance document. Are we done, you think?
Can we restrict the number of,
No, I don't think so.
to go, I
We
mean,
put an ad out and
We set it on a state website. It goes all over the state. Anybody subscribes to that
We get a hold of it.
can
can
submit
submit
an offer.
an offer. It-
Okay.
The one consultant told me it costs them $2,500 on the average to submit a proposal. Man hours and pictures and publication.
Yeah, but
That's,
they're drumming up business.
You mean that publication isn't given to Rush County on their next bridge project? That same brochure?
no,
You see what I'm saying?
it's each consultant when they submit it, they,
Yeah, but I mean, you don't think that's just a
Run-of-the-mill advertising.
generic
yeah, it is, what I send into the state.
that they put together and they'll send it to every county that they're gonna,
No, it's pretty specific because it's got my name a lot of times.
well, I guess
It's
it
got
would have to
pictures of Bridge
change.
25. I got a zillion pictures of Bridge 25.
But I imagine.
But it could be fill the blanks.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it
mean,
could be.
Okay.
Somebody created the format
And then
Yeah.
they
And
just
they-
follow it.
and they probably have that in the computer and then they just
Yeah.
add for each individual.
And they send it out for, printing.
Yeah.
But, they change personnel too. They might fire a supervisor or something,
Well,
or merge with a different consultant.
they might make it from scratch.
But one consultant told me it's $2,500 per submittal. But, that's their,
Shoo.
They're paying their help too much.
Well, that one's an awful fancy book.
Yeah, I know.
They spent some money on that damn thing.
So now, once these numbers are tabulated
Mm-hmm.
and that company is picked, do we sit and negotiate the rate, or does the state negotiate with them?
We have to send this tabulation to the state, and they say it's, we can negotiate, start negotiations.
And we do that?
Yeah,
We negotiate with that company?
they'll bring up a proposal, the consultant will.
Will they have according to union wage on this stuff too?
Well,
Okay.
they're all professionals, most of them.
Yeah, they're
There's no
not union.
union involved that I know of. And they got costs with the DBE, probably, gotta figure out what they're wanting to charge.
I guess my question is, that firm does not negotiate with the state, and
They
the
come to
state
us.
tells us how much we're gonna pay. We negotiate that fee.
Yeah, and we can't agree, we go to the second name on the list,
I see, okay,
yeah.
all right.
I mean, they're not locked in, but we can go to the second and the third
Okay.
until we agree.
All right.
But like I say, there's a certain percentage
Part of his stuff too.
of the construction bid is sort of a limit. I think that's by federal highway rules.
Or is this your stuff?
Is it a percentage construction inspection? You talked about that, is set by federal highway based on the amount of the bid?
Goes by the amount.
I think that's yours,
Yeah,
Warren, part of
Okay.
your stuff.
okay. I gotta see if we got them all here.
You don't need another stack.
Don't give me yours. I got enough on
I-
mine.
Anything I don't wanna keep, I'm gonna start dropping it off on your desk as I walk by.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
to me.
I gotta do one.
I'll do like I did yesterday. I threw a bunch of it in
Run off into the trash
a
can.
rectangular file behind me. Some of it I stuck up on
I told
those
Jamie,
lovely files.
I said, I've gotta get some kind of briefcase or bag or something that I can start carrying this stuff in and out with, cause I'm getting some range. I can't carry it under my arm.
Well, I had several tote bags at home, but I just went conferences and conventions, all free and so
Okay, yeah, I
I will be
appreciate it.
happy to share.
Well, okay.
Because if-
Now,
I
does
I
this,
started carrying this instead of.
Time to do mine, yeah.
does,
It's a lunch bag. that I got.
Yeah.
Make a difference, come on.
Jamie's got one of those from Henry County
Maybe.
Hospital.
I
think
doubt it.
was.
now, does this get
One
revealed
against
who
three.
wins this here, or does that wait until a meeting?
We give them enough zeros.
Well, this is a
negatives.
meeting, so I don't know if he's gonna, are you gonna tabulate those totals today? and
Yeah, I'll go down if-
Make that announcement today,
Yeah,
or
if you want to.
if you,
It's up to
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'll probably go down and here in a minute or two and add them all up.
Okay, are you gonna be part of this as well?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna be kinda hard for you to go down and do it.
Well,
It should have taken too long to tabulate. Candy bar?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Supposed to be ready.
it's my eyesight.
Let's not talk about it.
That's just the first thing that goes, wait till you see the rest.
I thought it was my memory was the first thing.
Where did it go?
Yeah.
I may not get back.
My name? I'm not sure.
Well, that depends, if you're gonna get blamed for something, give somebody else's name.
Well, I got finished tabulation. It's gonna take me 5 minutes here to do that. I don't know if you wanna go ahead without me and then I can come back.
It's whatever.
Just do your
Or we can take a
tabulation.
5-minute break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
we can
recess this meeting.
Yeah, let's recess for 5 minutes. Let him
We're gonna
tabulate.
recess for 5 minutes while Warren does his thing.
I could stand to go to the little boy's room anyway.
We're back in session. Recess is over. Warren has brought the results from the scoring. Certified Engineering was first with 430 points. American Structure Point came in second with 291.92. Strand came in third with 278.64. SJCA came in fourth with 271. Butler Fairman Seifert came in next with 266.60. Durham was next with 255, and USI was last with 240.64.
Can you tell me what C certified engineering was again, please?
What their score was? 430. You can have this copy. Make life easier for you, probably.
I made a copy.
Very good.
Okay, so I'll send that into the state, all the documents, and they
And then we'll,
can give us notice to proceed for
Negotiation.
negotiations.
okay. So we wait on them to give us notice to proceed.
Yeah,
Do
with
you
the
have a time
negotiations.
frame?
No,
Does that
it's up
have-
to
I mean,
state.
Is that
Oh,
within a month or within 2 months or what, how does that work?
2 or 3 weeks, I think.
Okay,
It's supposed to be a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, because then we'll have to, well, negotiate and then we get a contract.
I mean, this,
Okay.
the only reason I asked, this is all new to
Yeah.
me, so I,
Never done it like that.
We have to get the engineer in place before they'll put it to the letting.
letting them bid.
And it has to be like 3 months before the letting, I think.
Okay, and then
Ready for contract.
will, will their company, certified companies be with us when we open bids?
No, it's opened in Indianapolis
Okay.
on the state letting. And they'll tell us
Who-
who is the low bidder, if it's below the engineering estimate, and then ask for money, the county's money. For
So-
20%, hopefully.
But we don't get to grade that company.
The one, yeah, they don't, the contractor, the low bid usually gets it. They'll check the bids out.
And we won't have a say-so in that.
Not usually. They'll check if they're qualified, the state, to be a contractor.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't think they'd be able to submit if they wasn't qualified.
Yeah, they'll check on that. And they have pre-qualified, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Pre-qualified bidders.
Yeah,
And they'll check through the items, the math, see if there's any error. And like I say, if it's under the engineer's estimate, then most likely they'll award it, subject to our getting the 20% into them.
okay.
And I think we have 30 days supposedly to do that.
Now, do we have a stipulation, or do we have input on the length of the contract?
And they set it up, the state engineers do.
Usually the area engineer will do a few times.
I'm sorry,
The
Jim?
area engineer, like in Greenfield, I think it's Rich Anthony that's over here now. Is the area engineer.
I don't know the area engineer now.
Yeah.
They've
I
changed.
think it's Rich Anthony. And whoever the area engineer is, whoever, they set the time for the projects. And, They look at the plans and they'll do a time set.
Okay.
Next number of days or whatever.
Do
But I
they,
think you would have a lot of input on that, because if you're dealing for school schedules or something like that,
harvest
might be
or
able to have
planting or,
you won't set the time, but I think you probably have some.
We
input.
talked with them,
okay.
yeah.
All
We got the Indiana bat. You might have to
You gotta
clear
have
out the
that done by what,
trees
April
before they.
1st, you gotta have trees down.
So we haven't got the right of way yet. So once they get the right of way, the county does, then we
And
can.
after June, I think it is June 1st. you
I
can
thought it was
do a
October.
stream Or something like, because of the fish spawning.
Yeah,
And,
we can take out the trees bigger than 3 inches in diameter.
At a certain time of the year.
Yeah, October to April at
Okay.
winter time. So I'll have to get quotes for that. The utilities know we're gonna do that, so they can dead end the wires up there. So just the telephone and overhead electricity.
So now, are you seeking right away, or is Butler?
Butler Fairman has services, professional service contract to negotiate,
Okay.
plus appraisals.
Okay.
We
That's
already,
already been approved, and
yeah. And I had one right-of-way owner in my office wanted me to clarify some of the paperwork. It's about a half inch thick.
Okay.
including all their
So it's been
resumes.
presented to the landowners, just,
Yeah.
we're on the tail end of,
Yeah, they have, I think, 30 days, once they get notice, to notify the buyer or negotiate with the buyer.
and are we dealing with four property owners? Okay.
Yeah,
One on each side of the river, or two
each
on
corner.
each. Yeah,
The main purchase is near that house on the corner,
but,
but it's
Vale.
just right away.
Yeah, we're here
Fried.
in Julie Vale's
Or,
house.
it used to be Vale's house.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's some damages for getting closer to the house and taking out trees. There's some ornamental pine trees.
Is it just construction right away that we're needing
That's
there?
permanent right of way.
But
From the edge of pavement out, about 40 feet at the maximum from the center line. So, but it's not very long, a couple hundred feet each way. And by, I think altogether, it's not very much, less than a half acre, I think,
Total,
total one.
or, okay.
Because, yeah, about a tenth each corner,
Okay.
tenth of an acre each corner. So. we're
But I
lucky.
guess I'm just concerned about that house that's,
Yeah, I was too.
was so close that we were gonna destroy something of the I mean, the integrity of the house. I didn't want to disturb the, if
No.
yeah,
That's pricey
we
there.
buy the property, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see if we couldn't,
they have enough space, their house not gonna fall in the creek.
or it's not gonna ruin the aesthetics of the
Yeah.
home
No,
permanently, on a permanent
they
basis.
might get a new sidewalk and an entrance to their driveway, which is on farther east.
Okay,
The well, the septic system is back behind it.
okay.
And,
So we're not gonna bother either one of those.
no,
Are we gonna set a table up to look at maps?
Well,
and
that's what I
whatever?
wondered, if it was, would
I
be
think it
easier
would be
to set
easier if we did that.
a table instead of.
If you, I didn't bring any maps with me today.
We have maps.
we do?
Will that work with the camera if we set a table out there?
You want me to get some from my office, some maps, or do you got?
Well, I just thought I'd give them an overview, and
Okay.
then what I'd really like to do is have each of you individually come to my office, and we'll walk you through the asset management. I mean, this is gonna take.
You need to see that?
Drop, I mean, if you got that, it would be over the 73.
And you didn't need any of
I found out at the
these? Or do you want
legislative meeting that we did 75% instead
I mean,
of.
or if you
Remember
were-
what I did with my phone? I thought, oh my gosh, it's gone.
That's part of what I was gonna tell
I
you.
mean, I got
Oh, okay.
one for commissioner, one for me.
75%
And,
instead of 50/50 like we did last year on the community crossing grant. We can come up with 50,000, we'll get 750.
yeah. I sort of like this one. Yeah, we're gonna build it to look just like,
Road work?
except it'll be wider.
On this community crossings grant, I think we can do Jordan Bridges or whatever. Can Houston
I was
Bridges
surprised
be?
Strand
I'm not sure, probably.
submitted
Because
one.
I said it was infrastructure and that it didn't have to be
So is this,
There's,
this, what'd you call it, community
Community crossing.
crossings grant.
crossing grant? Is it what used to be Build Indiana? I mean,
No,
No,
no, it's what we had,
totally.
what we're doing Waterloo and Everton Road.
yeah, I understand, but I mean, have they renamed it? I mean,
No,
No, it's a whole new thing, whole new pot of money.
okay. So what is the pot of money? Can you explain that to me
The,
in a few words?
okay, and
Jane, do you want to come down here, or you gonna remain, or?
what's yours?
Well, I'm getting this
Little
secret
bag,
quick
doesn't
then.
it?
Well, you're
Looks cute, this little bag.
Do we have enough chairs down? I need one more.
We know you're gonna do that, but you might, Jim, you wanna stand down?
Get it all out of the way. Run this one.
What matters?
But if you got something more important,
Yeah.
you can do it.
That was all facilities from the other. Thank you.
let me bring everybody up to speed on the community crossing grant. In the first round last year, the community crossing grant, there was 2 pots of money given to the county and the city. You were to use all of that money for paving, except for 25% of the first round you could use for whatever, right, Jane? And then, I'm not sure what the county did with theirs. Is it still sitting in that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's what we're paving: Waterloo Road, Everton Road, and that's it for the county. They're big. Everton was a long one. So, but to get to that point, we had to turn in an asset management plan, or a PACER program is what some people are calling it. We had, Butler Fairman came in and they graded every road in the 215 square miles of the county. They did the cities as well. We went through and they gave us a rating on each road from 1 to, what's the highest? 10. Yeah. And it's just like a stoplight. Think of it as a stoplight. Green is good, red is bad. So that's what the map looks like for our 215 square miles. The city is not included. The city
They
is.
run out of green ink when they got the fake in.
That's green,
Yeah.
isn't it, right there?
Well,
That's why
that
that's
section
circled.
right
That
there
one little section.
Is where the only thing I can figure is where they put the 2 bridges in down there on Bird Sanctuary. I don't know if Jerry was here or who was, but you come off and
What's wrong with the bike house?
it's
It's
not even
missing
on
too.
there.
I'm working on that, getting it in.
Yeah, it was left out.
Oh, okay.
And they put Rice County line in.
And
Yeah, and that's not ours
No,
to take care of.
But what Butler Fairman did, they took the state map and used so it showed us some things too, that there's some in the city as well as the county that we're not collecting taxes on. If it's not listed on the state map, we're not getting taxes.
The formula.
Collecting
the
the- right,
formula is
right,
not
right.
including those miles.
So we're gonna remedy that. We're working to get that fixed,
Because
but
I think when I was commissioner before, the state recognized 318 miles or something like that.
for
it was
the,
418 maybe.
for the county,
Yeah,
385.
or 385, yeah.
well,
I'm sorry.
we only have 215 square outside miles.
Right,
Yeah,
right. No,
yeah, you're
I'm-
talking all county roads.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
talking the county roads. That was what supposedly, the tax formula was figured on.
So what I would like to do is community crossings coming out again. You guys approved the bid this morning to go out. Is that true? I didn't come to the meeting this morning.
We're gonna advertise.
To do the
starting-
advertisement for Everton and Waterloo, to get that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We had, a gentleman came down, an engineer from Milestone, came down and actually rode the roads with us. And he gave us an overall suggestion. It's not true for because that was part of the engineering when we went back to do it. We had such a short time frame to get that first grant application in. We had to just do what we could do. So I said, we picked the most expensive way to go, and that was a milling with a 2-inch overlay. Not every part of that road needs milling and overlay. We know that, but to get a uniform cost per mile, that's what we had to do. So we went as expensive as we could, knowing that, we could maybe do more. We thought we could do more, but found out now that we can only do what we put in the grant for. If we
So what
did,
happens if the bid
if the bid comes in less,
way less, that money goes back to the state?
yeah.
We don't get to utilize that.
At this point, they're saying no, money will have to go back. So they change their minds sometimes, so.
Well, on a
Just
daily
saying.
basis.
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, they change their minds sometimes, so we're hoping that if we have good projects, that they'll say, okay, you did so good in bidding out your money, we'll let you use it. You can do 5 more miles or whatever. Last year, Frank sat down with Leota and Warren and Richard and I, and we picked they picked what we did this year. You know, what had, they actually, on the grant application, they wanted you to pick a major or minor arterial road. And they also wanted something that was gonna have some economic value to it. Well, you know, we all know there's, from 121 to go to Everton, that's the only road you've got, is to get that there. The school corporation had told us how bad the road was. They were really great in giving us support when we
Fire
went into
department.
the fire department, the school.
So now, are we actually going from 121
Yes,
to 1?
yes.
So it's more than Everton Road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all the way.
It's on those drawings I put on the GIS drawing, the route
Okay.
on there.
And then, the city is doing from 30th Street to the county, city-county line, city limits. And then the county's gonna
What-
do all the way,
Waterloo.
on Waterloo, I'm sorry, on
Yeah.
Waterloo.
Oh.
From 30th Street to, the city limits.
Oh, okay.
And then the county's gonna pick up and go from, the city limits all the way to the edge of the county.
Go up Pennville to the county line?
Not we're not going out Pennville, we're
Going
going
to
across.
We didn't have
We're going
enough.
across. We didn't quite have enough money to go that extra little.
So you're going to that intersection and that's it?
We're going to the bridge, skipping over and gonna do that little piece
To the
to
intersection?
the intersection.
Of
Yes,
Waterloo Road.
Yes.
185, isn't it?
440.
442 County Road 185 east.
Oh, I don't, yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
you're going clear up to the
T.
T.
Yeah.
That- To
Yeah.
stop, the
Yeah.
stop sign?
Right
Yes.
there,
Oh,
Waterloo.
okay.
Yes,
Well, then why don't we just turn and go the other way?
It's longer.
it was a little longer.
Okay.
And we just had a little bit of money left. We're actually, Richard was gonna have to put in like an extra $9,000 out of his budget if our bid didn't come in cheaper. He was gonna have to put in about $9,000 extra to make that extra little, because it's bad, so we didn't wanna stop at the bridge. You know, let's do that little piece, even if we do have to put in 9,000.
But we still have to address Pennville.
We do, at some point, have
I
to
mean,
address.
that's a
Pennville.
lot more travel than going on east. I would-
Right,
I would
right.
guess.
So we just did the bridge last year, and our opinion was to go ahead and finish, just have that road all the way to that intersection, to the T.
What we're working on now, we've got to update the asset management plan, our PACER program. I'll get with Richard and Warren, we'll get that updated. We will bring in a consultant this time to do that. Now that it's done, we can upgrade ourselves. But what we need to do is start,
By upgrade, you mean,
update, I should not say.
is there a criteria that you have that, okay, it's been, this mile's been chip sealed this year, so that adds this many points?
Yes,
And
yes,
there's some
there is
roads
that.
that we've turned into asphalt, some roads since I've been down there. So
Mhm.
that has to be taken into consideration, I'm sure. So
Yep.
All right, okay.
So, what you guys need to decide, we're getting ready to do the next phase. It'll be coming out, we're looking for it to come out in June probably, is what NDOT's telling me. And I wanna be prepared and not behind the game this time. So, how do you wanna move forward with the picking of the roads? And first, before we go further with that, I'd like each one of you individually to come over to my office. We'll walk through the asset management plan. I can show you on the map how we do that. It does have some proprietary things on it that probably wasn't good to put on camera. So, if you all want to come over individually, so we don't have a quorum, I would be more than happy to do that. But, what we need is a commitment, you know, who wants to meet with us from the commissioners to do this, to move forward. That's all up to you.
I'm willing if no one else wants to do it, but it doesn't matter to me. But correct me if I'm wrong, This grant will only, we have to establish primary roads.
They want
Only.
roads that have an economic impact to your community.
But they're not putting vehicle counts, any counts with that?
That's where the major and minor arterial comes in to play with
Well,
that.
would that be like a primary, would that be like where the fire department's gonna use their main run to go to different places?
It's like we're putting a new bridge in out on 300, that's one of our main roads.
300 is a primary
300
road.
would be a
'cause-
primary road, and it also, going past Harrisburg School, what we used last year as part of the criteria was the fact that Everton Road, we were taking care of the roads where people travel back and forth to get those kids to school. And so we figured out 300 in and out past Fayette Central.
And I think we need to build on that because of Orange School being closed down. A lot of that southern part of Orange Township is going to Everton School. So we
Yeah.
need to make sure that we can
Get a primary road in.
get a primary road
From Everton,
from
from Orange
clear
back,
over to Orange,
back to
all the
Everton.
way to Everton. I think that needs to be taken into consideration.
And see,
And in
some of those
turn,
kids are
that
also-
gets Everton over an Orange Fire for assistance
Yeah.
easily. Would you agree, Jim? And-
Yeah, I mean, they're taking care of the primary thing this year. That gets us to the west side of the river.
Yeah.
Once we get to the west side of the river, then we're fine. But yeah, I mean, anything like that would benefit
Yeah.
us. Mutual aid.
Mutual aid for-
Coming and going.
And they're wanting things that make an economic impact
Yeah.
on your community. So, you know,
with kids back and forth to school is an important economic.
impact. That's why, one of the reasons we picked Waterloo area, you know, so many people drive to Wayne County for work. You know, it's not just for importing, it was also for exporting. So, you know, and of course, everybody knows, you know, Everton Road, that whole area is the main, you know, either you go across there or you come all the way to Connersville to go across. So there's no clear to Brookville. There's
I'm-
nothing in between.
I'm not sure the traffic count on 300 nowadays, 300 north to Harrisburg, what we always call the Harrisburg Road, because of Vistion being gone.
Right.
But when Vistion was here,
It
that was a highway.
Well-
Well, it is now because of Walmart.
Well, and it may be.
And when the bridge was closed, let me tell you, I heard a lot of people tell me that 300
We
was
heard it
very,
every day.
very important,
We won't even
very
do it.
important road.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe, you know, that area, as you can see on here, is red out around the school, you know, Fayette Central, so that's an area
I
that
think
maybe we could.
30th Street out and then back to 300.
You know,
Another thing you don't, most people don't realize too, if you go up there to Bentonville Road, that's in Wayne County, but when you hit, if you turn on the Bentonville Road, that takes you clear over to Greenfield.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it does.
R700 North
Uh-huh.
up there is a really important road.
Mhm.
R450, or 550 West is a very important road. Because
Highway
it
travel.
takes you clear to 70
Yes.
via, I mean,
I traveled to
Wilbur Road.
Bentonville through Carthage and all.
Yeah,
It
and
takes you directly over to
you can go clear to Greenfield.
That is actually, I don't know if you guys looked at the list, but one of the lists for chip sealing was 700 all the way across. Because that's a main road right through there.
So we have to consider the wind turbine farm.
800, 900.
Well, and I want to be careful because I don't want to do very much work up there
That's
Right.
what
and then
scares
it all
me.
gets
too.
destroyed.
Right.
Chip
That's,
seal, we got to maintain what we
Yeah,
got.
yeah.
But as far as new asphalt, I would
but
like
it's
to
still
know.
expensive to chip seal.
Oh, it
You
is.
know,
It is.
that's,
But that's the maintenance.
right,
You got to
right.
maintain
Right.
what you've got.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be nice to know what NextEra's idea is as far as getting equipment in.
They're coming from the north, from 40,
Okay.
basically. We've got maps downstairs.
Okay, that's
So,
what
what they
I wasn't
propose-
aware of.
And they got proposed sites too down there. You got-
So they're not gonna store over here to where, they're not coming in on rail?
They're coming down from 40, it's last I knew.
Okay.
Now, they haven't presented final plans yet for commissioners for permits
So,
and everything.
otherwise, we can do work clear up to 300 at least,
Yeah.
north, because there's no windmills
Fairview, there might be,
Fairview.
the south end
Yeah,
of the
I
Fairview.
mean, we could go to 550 at
Yeah.
least, because that's Harrison Town, that's the end of Harrison Township.
They could still use railroad company. And the railroad that comes north of 70 there by Wilbur Wright Road, just north there, what's that little town?
On,
That railroad goes right through that town there, just north of 70.
it's on the map, Gary.
They could go right straight
The
down
locations and
to
everything
48.
in the routes of where, if,
The roads they go to
Okay, the
use.
map that I've got does not show the
Okay.
routes.
we,
And
I've
that's
got
why
one if too.
We've
all
got, we
I
can make
did was
some
come
more.
down and get a map of where the.
I try not to talk about the windmills because it gets me
Well,
in trouble.
You know what?
But it'd be nice, I mean, road wise.
And I understand, it's not a popular topic, but we've got to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they come in or they don't come in, that's not the question. It's,
If they come.
if they come in, we've got to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
And,
From our point of view, as a highway department, it's a big benefit to us. I
Yeah.
mean, roads.
Yeah, we're gonna-
But I hope it's ain't on.
Yeah, it
It's,
is.
it's a,
Have you seen agreement with, concerning the roads and everything?
no, I've not seen any of the details.
Okay,
Of
I've
the
got one in my
contract.
office.
But I-
Contract, you might have one in there in your office.
I mean, I
assume.
it's just my concern that I want us to be prepared, and I don't want us to spend tax dollars
And then have it torn up.
and then have it torn up.
Right.
I agree 100%.
Because we need to put those tax dollars somewhere else.
And this is what I'm asking, why I'm, like I said, getting ahead of the game. I want to be prepared and it's hard to meet publicly every time with all of the commissioners. So if you guys would appoint one commissioner that we could meet with and move forward with this. You know, it's hard to get everybody's schedule. You know, it's a lot easier to meet 4 instead of 7 or 8 people every time, so. And I don't even have to sit in on it. They can, you know, they can walk through that part. I'll just help Warren when the application comes out.
One of the things that they rated our roads, most of them are 3s. We had nothing, what, maybe one that was a 4 or something? And 3 and 2s have to be taken care of. And most of our roads were 3s and some of them were 2. But we had nothing.
My only question with that is, and I understand what they did, but what are they rating them to compare with? What's their standard? I mean, is it a State Road 44 standard? That's what their beginning standard is, or
I think, I can get that information from Butler Fairman exactly, and he said they've made some upgrades to the map. Yeah, updates to the map, sorry. I say upgrades. They updated the map so that, he said there's some new features on there that honestly, I have not got to sit down and go through with them yet.
I mean, I guess I understand where they're coming from, but you take a county road that has 10 cars on it today,
Right.
we can't put the money into it
Yeah.
that State Road
But
44 is.
that's
Right.
the economic factor that factors in. If it's only traveled by 10 cars a day, that's not gonna be your top priority for grant.
From the
It-
grant
because it's not
standpoint,
gonna
but
get
the
funded.
scoring, if they're
Well, it's
scoring
still-
that road the same as what,
It would all be scored the same. When they scored the road, they didn't score them by usage. They just scored the road by,
Deterioration.
Surface.
I wouldn't say
conditions,
by-
basic.
yeah, that's the exact one.
because I'm
Basic.
sorry, I know we've got problem places, but we've got a lot of good county roads.
Well,
For county roads, for their traffic.
right. And that's where it's our discretion to figure that part in, is the use, you know, does it get 10 cars a day, or do we get 300 or 400 cars a day?
You know, I know when I was commissioner before, I had some people up there, my next door neighbors actually, and he looked at me and he said, my road's never gonna get hard topped, is it? I said, well, you know, you got 2 houses on it and it's pretty slim that it'll ever get hard surfaced, you know, because
Well,
we've got to look at traffic count as well
and
as.
Richard's looking at a good plan with that, you know, the city's getting ready to do, we're taking our bids next Friday, May 12th, for the community crossing. We're gonna open our bids for our project that day. And we've got it in our bid to take our millings to Richard so that he can start using those on the gravel roads and start upgrading those. You know, if the city and the county start working together on some of this stuff, because we didn't have any use for them right now, so why not let Richard use them on those roads?
Well, it's something that you might pass back to the city, and I'm sorry, Richard, to step on your toes.
It's all right.
But Jim had an idea with those millings
Mhm,
that it may save us some money on the bid
mhm.
if we'd have them put them back on the berm,
Mhm.
in the berm area. Because,
That's for the county, see, the city can't do that.
well, I mean, I didn't know whether you were in, yeah, you wouldn't be able, where you're gonna do it.
No,
you
we
couldn't do
can't
it.
do that.
But
The county.
as far as Richard, that'd be the county, because we're gonna have to haul something back out there.
Yeah, if there's, I mean, when they put a layer over, you know, you're gonna have.
I mean, we've gotta make that
2 to 3
safe.
inch. Yeah, you gotta.
So
fill
it's
it in.
either haul gravel back out there
Or do the middle.
Is
or
that in
use
your
the
bid?
millings.
Is that in your bid to do it that way?
No, it's all to haul down to the highway garage, everything.
And I never thought about
See,
that,
with
didn't even know
yours-
you could
with
do that until
yours,
Jimmy said
Wouldn't even have
that.
to haul. I mean, done this on roads before when we mill them. They can run that conveyor either
Just
side
set
of
it
that
on the
road,
side.
just dump it right along the side, windrow.
Well, they'll probably, we can negotiate.
Then they wouldn't even have to truck it then,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't have to truck something back
So
out.
maybe once the bid's set and they give you their price and you sign that contract, you know, or
it'd be the
agree.
millings cost, maybe
Yeah,
if we
can reduce your
negotiate.
And see, the other thing too, you may not, if you're hitting and missing where you're milling, you may not have enough to go, to consistently go all the way through, where if you're getting their millings, you're still not having to buy the material, you've got the millings that you can haul out.
Haul back out there. And maybe we don't use them on a gravel road like you first thought. Maybe we use those
Fill the
millings.
berm to drop the edges. so
Either
that's-
way, the county gets
Whichever.
advantage of the
Yeah,
millings.
yeah.
Right, right.
But, yeah, if we mill 2 inches, I mean, it's gonna use 2 inches asphalt. But where you don't use the milling,
Because the city was very much the same way, you know, there was places, we did the exact same thing. We did a milling and then a 2-inch overlay, and we don't need that in all the places. You know, some places needed build up a little bit more. Since we don't have a warrant in the city, we had to employ somebody to come in and do our specs for us and do that. So they went out, bought the project, and that's how our bid went out.
Okay. I guess while we're talking about that project, Warren, are you gonna be the inspector of the project? or-
well, that's between me and Richard. And if we need somebody to collect weight tickets, we're gonna have somebody there at the highway garage do that. It all depends on their schedule, I might have to take vacation.
Go crash.
When is your project, when did you give your end date? by?
Completion in the middle of July.
So is mine, so,
Most of these guys too, I'd say be working late, so not everybody's got to 6 or 7 and 3:30. So.
Most of your contractors this time of the year are working 10 or 12.
They like to,
5 days,
Right.
and then they'll work at least
if it's,
10 on
if it's the
Saturday.
sunshine and they're working, yeah.
and I guess I'm just concerned, I wanna make sure that it's
I'll be
it's
down.
done to specs.
If we need somebody to
Right
measure
slope,
the
right?
milling and collect tickets for the tonnage, that's what they're gonna look at as far as
The
the
millings
state.
has got to be fine.
Yeah.
I do know that.
That's what we put in there.
But you haven't drawed out
I've got to get this.
I have drawings, but they're off the GIS. Just the
where the
route.
milling needs to be done, where,
No.
Yeah.
and that is gonna be determined
When we get a bidder and
after
mark
the
it all.
bid's
Yeah,
accepted,
yeah.
and then you'll go out and say, okay, here's what needs, so wouldn't his price change? Couldn't his price?
It's just per square yard price. So,
And sometimes that'll bite them, because they'll want to bid, if they don't think there's going to be much used there or something, they may bid that, they're taking a chance.
I
They
got
bid
you.
that item cheap, so they get the
I
contract.
had to go tree down.
Where at, not my yard?
Alpine.
Oh,
On
okay,
21.
okay.
You need,
Cut a
my
tree.
guys,
Yeah.
call them.
I'll
Thanks,
catch up with you guys and see what's going on.
Thank
You
you.
call.
Thank you, Richard.
Basically, the same area as we surfaced what I calculated.
There'll be those things low is what I started
Yeah,
saying.
it'll probably
And
be,
you'll hear them crying when you add to it, you'll hear, but that's their problem. Be to your advantage if they bid it low, then you
Right.
can
Add to it.
hey, they're.
Right.
I've
But
seen it
see,
happen.
we had to do curbs and ramps and,
All these have to be bid out, all these grants. We can't do it in-house.
we could do it in-house. You gotta think, you know, with their regular duties that they've got, there is no way the highway department would have time to get that done.
I understand, but
Okay.
if this is gonna be an ongoing thing, we could possibly put the personnel on to do it.
It's never promised, Gary. Okay, so we know it's gonna happen next year.
Okay.
You know, of course, you know, as politics change, so does,
Yeah.
I mean, our guys, I've seen our
I'd
guys
hate
doing
that.
30 miles a year
uh-huh,
paving and 60 miles of chip seal, so I know they can do it.
right.
I know we're about 2 guys short of from what we did, but
Right. You know, and we have a time frame. This year, we had a really tight time frame to get it done in because a lot of the communities did it last year because they were already set to do it. You know, they already had crews, they already had, you know, their bids set out and everything, so they just used the money and did it last year. We're kind of behind the 8 ball doing it this year. That's why our projects are set to be done by July, by the end of July. Both the city and the county are going to be done by July.
so could we do this year's grant quick enough to go ahead and have that construction this year?
I don't know when they're going to have the money available, but what
Or will we always be a year behind?
will probably always be a year behind. I mean, just because that's the way it's going to fall probably from now on. But what Richard has in his budget, this year they gave us both pots of money. I don't know if they're gonna do that next year. We only know they're gonna give you a chance to apply for the community crossing grant. I don't think they're gonna give you the matching funds as well for this coming year. Last year they gave you both. So all of this,
That was the extra income tax that you were talking
Yeah,
about, that was
we call
ours,
it-
that
Yeah,
they told us how we were gonna use it.
yeah.
the rainy day fund, huh?
yeah.
We've got this much money, they keep, what, 50% our code?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what it
I'm
was,
not
but
in
they
on
keep-
that.
They keep a certain amount, and they said, we're gonna give this back to the counties to use for this community crossing. We have to use it for infrastructure.
Okay.
Guys,
It's your
thank
money.
you for everything.
Okay,
thank you.
Okay,
Done.
thank you.
Take care, Jim.
So, what we're, you know, we're just gonna be ready. We're gonna move forward and try to hit it running instead of like everything was last year. You know, there was a lot of communities that didn't even get to put in last year because they didn't get their PACER, their asset management plan down. So without that being done and being updated, you're not even eligible for these funds. That was one of their stipulations that they put on us. So, that's why I
Would you
met
say
with
we had to come up with this year to get what?
25% is all of our match this year. So if I'm not sure what Richard has in his budget, you know, what he has to do. And I'm not sure if it's, until it comes out, I'm not 100% sure if we can just say next year we're gonna take $100,000. We'll do, you know, match it with 400,000, you know, do their 400,000, do a $500,000 project. I'm not sure what those numbers are gonna be. You know, whether it's this year, you know, whether I'll have to hold the match money back this year, whether it's gonna be next year. Until they come out with those dates, I'm not 100% sure how that part's gonna work.
So it's not in concrete that this year's program.
Right.
Okay.
Is there a
Right.
certain date that ought to come out by?
They told me it'll probably come out in June. But
That's
Last year when
certain.
it come out,
That's not
we had
certain.
about 4 weeks to get,
get an
Okay.
asset,
Yeah.
I mean, Butler Fairman did us a huge
But
favor.
we're ahead of the game because we've got
Right,
this
right.
already.
Yes.
But that's why I started meeting, when did we meet, last week? Or
Yeah,
first this-
last week.
Last week, we met and we were like, okay, we gotta get this asset management plan updated. You know, get what the roads that the county fixed last year, put in here and updated if they were a 2, you know, did they go to a 3 or a 4, or, you know.
Where'd they go?
Yeah, where did they go? Where were we at? Where are they now? But we wanted to bring it before you guys and see if there was one of you that wanted to meet with us to start going forward, to move forward, and so we could.
Gary's got
Yeah,
a
gotta
real burden
be-
for roads, he's already volunteered for it.
Well, I do have a burden for the roads,
I think Gary'd be the one to do it, then.
Yeah,
He's got prior experience too.
That's fine.
but the only thing I was thinking about is if we can gear up for it, I know our highway department, we can pave a lot more miles on the same dollars.
Right, you're absolutely right. We can, now if we did use our men to do it, we can only pay for materials. We cannot reimburse the
labor.
county for time. No labor reimbursement, yes.
And that, we're paying for that time anyway.
Right,
That's my
right.
point.
Right,
All that money goes towards
Right.
materials instead of materials and labor.
right.
And even if, I mean, at that time, when we were doing 30 miles, we were hiring part-time truck drivers, we were hiring trucking firms to truck for us,
Mhm,
and we were paving 30 miles a year
mhm,
in-house.
mhm.
That's not near 30 miles. What that
Right,
grant
right,
did.
right.
For-
You're
So if
absolutely
you stretch
right.
that money out, it's gonna go a lot further.
You're
My point.
absolutely right.
My point.
Yeah.
Now, subdivisions, all of our hot mix work in our subdivisions, we contracted that out.
Mhm.
And we used some extra money that the state gave us. But all of our primary and secondary roads, rural roads, we pug mixed,
Mhm.
right or wrong, that's yet to be determined, but we did 25 to 30 miles a year in-house. And my gosh, $500,000,
Right.
that'll pay a lot of roads if we do it in-house.
Mhm.
And we can put some more people to work.
In our county.
In our county.
Mhm.
And I guess that was the reason I asked that.
Mhm.
But it's just like we talked to Richard about doing 60 miles of chip seal work this year. I said, now, Richard, you gotta make sure that you've got the manpower that can do it.
Mhm.
Don't, we can't stick our necks out here and then you come up and say, we just didn't have time. If you've got the personnel, let's do it.
Be prepared.
And it's just like this, if we got the opportunity
Mhm.
to go back to paving 30 miles a year,
That'll help the county a hell of a lot.
look what we could do for this county
Right.
in
Right.
3 or 4 years. If this grant only lasted 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I didn't read through all of it. I've got it printed off if you want. It's House Bill 1002. So
Okay.
I started reading it and
Fell asleep.
my eye was twitching. But, so, and how it actually, the legislators present it one way, but by the time it finally gets to the end, it's a little different. So,
If nothing else, let's let Richard bid it with the bids. And maybe we can get a much more competitive bid.
and we will. Everything we do has to be bid out.
Yeah, even if we do it in-house,
The materials.
the materials will be bid.
Will be-
You do that on the annual bid.
Yeah, they'll use the bitumen
Yeah, couldn't we
bids,
use the
yeah.
annual bid
Yeah,
for that?
yeah.
Because that's the way we did with the PUD, is,
Mhm.
before we were making it ourselves.
Because
it
that's
was-
what some of the
300
towns
ton.
did that, but, it was just, every time we do something is a learning experience.
Yeah.
We learn a little more along the
Then they
way.
changed the rules on it.
Yeah, well, that happened, yeah.
The rules were made in April and wanted done ready for paving in June.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I guess my ultimate dream would be that the city and the county departments could join forces and do all the paving. Do the city's paving, do the county's paving, and that we share trucks, we share manpower back and forth, and we do it all in-house. Would be my ultimate dream of it all. I don't know that that's ever possible, but it sounds, it's just ridiculous that we don't combine.
We're spending money on separate ways when we could combine it.
Well, and that was part of the commissioners from last year. That was part of the reason to go on out with Waterloo Road the way we did. You know, the city really, it's really bad in the city around 30th Street, Waterloo Road.
But you said you were accepting bids Tuesday?
I am accepting bids, opening bids next Friday.
I
Friday morning.
thought we were supposed to be bidding Waterloo and
Outside the city limits.
all together, so that.
Well, we tried to.
we get the same
It's as
contract.
close as, and I'm telling my contractors when I talk to them that the county's coming out with a bid. When they come and want to see my plans, that's what we've told them, hey, the county's doing this too, you know, in hopes we can get the best bid for all of it. You know, the way schedules fall and meetings fall, that was as close as,
Now you come to the auditor's office for the set of plans now,
do you, for the county?
for the county, yeah.
And Butler Fairman is, giving out ours. So I've got a set of plans at City Hall for them to look at, but if they want plans to take with them, those come from.
Well, then let me ask you this. If
Hello.
we choose
I'm in a
this
meeting.
year to maybe go 30th Street out to Harrisburg,
Oh, that's a good plan, please.
can that be bid from Western Avenue?
Oh, my.
Create a project created from
Do I need to
Western
call you back
Avenue
later?
out there with the city and in conjunction with the city so that we do everything?
It'll be the same way because see, you're talking two totally separate pots of money.
Okay.
Unless those
Okay.
departments were combined. You
It's
know,
like we'd be combining them and that ain't the way it's gonna work.
right.
Because it just upsets me that we.
Warren
the
and
county
I
pays
tried
up to this
to,
point, and then
Right.
the city's falls apart, or the city pays up to this point,
Yeah.
and the county's falls
Okay.
apart.
Yeah.
And it's just like out there on 300. We went to the
Yeah,
city
I
and
knew
said, hey,
that. Got it in
why
my
don't you
date.
pay us to
So,
pave clear to one?
Do we need to get together
Because
on
they've got
what time
600
we're leaving
feet
or
there
where
Right.
we're
something
leaving
like that.
from
I
or
forget what that figure.
whatever?
They said, oh, no, we don't have the funds. So we got new pavement that stopped here and jumped from here to
I haven't got
one,
the date.
right.
yet.
still today.
Now,
And-
now, wait a minute.
I just,
I have.
I guess I want to pick projects that's gonna,
I'm.
that's gonna benefit, and that's what we tried to do with, you know, with that area.
I mean, that was great, and I thought I misunderstood. I thought our bids
Okay,
were
May.
being advertised at the same time yours.
No,
6:30
I was trying
Play,
to do it for
Thursday.
earlier, the last meeting, and we didn't get the attorney to look at it, remember?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we would
Very
be pretty
good.
close then.
Yeah.
But
I'll put
I was
mine
gonna
at
have a
5
completion
o'clock.
date in July, and I moved it
Because we
back.
may end up with two different contractors
We
working
could.
against each other.
Yeah, we could.
yeah,
We
and I got
could,
another
we
one
hope
to go to
not,
yet.
but,
Yeah,
you know, we
So,
tried as hard as we could
anyway.
to get it as close together as we could.
The problem is there's too much
okay.
talking.
All right.
We
It's
were,
not
we were in
relevant.
daily contact.
All of them that I've been to.
It just,
Anyway.
So,
So what we need to
Uh-huh.
do to be prepared now is to start planning for next year and.
Right.
Or next,
This,
this
this
year's grant,
Right.
next year's.
paving,
maybe closer to the spring and have bid all same time in the winter
Okay.
would be the best.
best.
'Cause I don't know how it's gonna be this late start.
Yeah.
And,
You know,
Because a lot of
Let
the
me know
companies are already,
if there's a
Right.
ball game on
Geared up.
Saturday.
That's it,
or not.
and that's what, you know,
and it scares me that they're not gonna wanna do it
I don't either.
till
Yeah,
last
it's
on,
supposed to be raining
on their
today.
list. And
well, but that's,
so they're not gonna bid it and, you know,
Yeah.
that's a possibility, but that's why we put that date in there, that completion date was to get them, because especially Everton Road, we want that project complete before they start school. Of course, you've got summer school in there anyway, so it's as broad as it is
Teachers are out
long.
of school or
There's
something.
very few weeks
There's
that
very few weeks.
Yeah.
there's not
Yeah.
buses running on the roads.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
yeah, I tried to get those 2 bridges done last summer, and those bridges were
okay.
so bad.
See you later.
We didn't get it done until Halloween, the one 300
Right.
north at least, but
Okay.
it doesn't work out to plan, it seems like,
no, it's construction.
construction.
Yeah, construction never works out.
Well, I saw where Milestone, they were doing a big project, $6 million project in Richmond, and they got bids and it didn't work out. So maybe they're looking for work, I hope. As I saw last week, they were doing something downtown Richmond, and they were the low bidder, but for some reason they backed out, or the state didn't accept the bids.
Okay. So
They may need a job.
they may need a job.
And it's only a couple weeks.
We've had 5 pavers pick up plans
Really?
for the
That
city.
Are you
I think
able
people more.
to say who or
Mhm.
at this time?
Rowell, or Rowe,
Mhm.
Milestone,
Mhm.
let's say, would be
Graham.
Cram, they're Rushville. I don't know, the people of Milton, would they be certified? They're,
I don't know if they're, I don't know if they can.
I bet,
So,
they
I
weren't
don't
one of
know
the ones,
if they're
and I
state
don't, I mean, Butler Fairman emailed me that information today, but I don't remember all of it, but,
I've just been away from it so long, I
Right.
didn't know what companies were in this area now. Doug Davis.
see,
Right.
Rowe.
Rowe and Milestone did most everything
And
back when I was.
Crim's out of Rushville.
But Crims has gotten bigger over the years, because Crims has done a lot of the city paving, haven't they?
They have.
Over the years.
over the years, they've done a lot of paving.
Um,
Milestone is the one who did the, project Lower Grand for us. So, they did that paving.
I saw your request for proposals on Grand. Is that
My
for
RFP on
the
Grand.
stormwater or just Grand itself or
All of it,
all of it at once?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
next year.
the whole project, yes. Those RFPs are due June 5th.
Does that include inspection? Or is
That is inspection,
That's the inspection.
yes, yes. We're buying right away right now.
Yeah. Same with Bridge 25.
What are you working on? What are you planning on doing with Craig? What's the city?
Grand Avenue will be reconstructed from sidewalk to sidewalk from 24th to 30th. And then from 20th, 4th Street all the way to the river, there'll be a 60-inch pipe that goes in storm.
That, it's part of the stormwater.
Yeah, sewer, yeah, that's separation.
Sounds like.
Is it a 2-year project or are they trying 1 year?
No, it'll have to be a 2-year,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
do the storm first.
Yeah,
With that project, as you're doing that, are the other utilities being upgraded at that time?
some of them are. The ones that need to be are ones that,
Because that's always been a problem.
right,
Ohio Valley Gas comes in 6 months after you redo a street or.
right.
Or.
Oh, I thought you meant out. Actually, Ohio Valley Gas
Frontier
has done
comes
all
in
of
and-
theirs. Yeah, they've already done all of theirs. The city set up a new ordinance that if they can't come in and do a street cut, just to, without making it look just like it did, especially if we got new pavement. So we're trying to work that a little bit.
Yeah. I've done all the damage I can do. Yeah.
Do we need to call this meeting adjourned? Do I need a motion for adjournment? Or can we just get up and leave?
You have to adjourn.
Yeah, you would need a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor say yay.
Yay.